Hi guys, welcome to the video. Thank you for popping by to see what I have created in this last few days. I can tell you now that I wasn't happy with this first piece, but I do work on another piece later on, which I'm really happy with. And basically I just wanted to talk to you about my feelings of how I was feeling about this first one, how I felt when I completed it, and how I got over those feelings. So lots of feelings talk. And I think it's important to talk about because as someone who does art for a living, it's something that I come across regularly, and I thought it might be nice to share and to help others out there going through the same thing, or if someone is just curious about what happens when you do fail in an artwork. So yeah, a few days ago I decided to create a painting based on kind of like my discoveries in Netherlands. I really loved the fields of flowers there, and I was just really enjoying painting those kind of romantic vibes, I guess. So I wanted to do some sort of piece that felt romantic but also modern, and I wanted to use bright colors and make it feel very, very inviting. And I had recently watched Marry Me with J-Lo, which is a good movie, and I love J-Lo. And I thought that she might be the ideal person to put in this field. So I started with looking into some references of her and found a cool full body shot where she was laying back on a chaise lounge, and I thought it would be cool to put the chaise in the middle of the flowers and just have her enveloped by this beautiful field of lots of colourful flowers. So the concept in my mind looked beautiful, and I was very excited to get started on it. I started with a sketch in my sketchbook just to make sure that, I don't know, what I felt was right. So as I was sketching it, I was like, you know what, this needs to be a painting. So I progressed to a full-blown painting on watercolor paper, and I used my gouache, and unfortunately I went through a lot of acrylic gouache to do this painting, and then it felt very sad because I hated it in the end. So to combat this, after I was feeling incredibly deflated, I wanted to go back to my original idea, which was being inspired from those flowers from the Netherlands. It's like I completely forgot about that and got involved in this portrait and trying to make the girl look detailed and in focus, and it's like I forgot all about the flowers. So then I decided to pay attention only to flowers and try and work from that Van Gogh style of flowers, where it's just that is your core subject, like a still life of flowers, and try and create something that's really not your style. So then once I had that idea in my head, I thought, that's what I need to do to get past this feeling. I was honestly on the couch, super demotivated and just annoyed that I'd spent all this time on a piece that I knew wasn't going in the right direction. So then that led me to think, why do I do that to myself? Why can't I quit when I realize that I'm not enjoying it? Why do I keep forcing the hand to complete it and decide then? So I'm hoping that from this and making this video, I will remind myself that it's okay to quit when you're not enjoying it. I think that's something that I really need to learn. And the way I got over this feeling, I think that night I sort of just had a little bit of an internal dialogue and thought, how can I get past this? You didn't fail, Torryn. It's not that bad. The time you still were experimenting, and you know what, you still learnt. I still learnt that I shouldn't pay so much focus on the detail and forget about the overall feeling and vibe that you want of the piece. So in my mind, I've decided that I'm going to try and be very loose and relaxed in the future and just pay attention to close details where they're needed. So that's pretty much where my mind was at. And so after feeling down, I, the next day, had planned on focusing on a flower and seeing what I can create using extremely loose strokes and pretty much going against all of my natural instincts of painting. So I am someone that gravitates to a small brush, who focuses on maybe the individual petal and tries to create almost a lifelike representation of that petal. So with this piece now, I have just totally decided to scrap all of that idea and pick up a bigger brush and grab a lot of paint on your brush and just throw in colors and shapes here and there and see basically what happens. And I was super shocked that I loved the process. And at the beginning, you know, throughout, I was like, oh, this isn't looking that great. But it wasn't bothering me because I knew that I wasn't trying as hard to get an accurate representation. I was just like enjoying the feeling and the experimentation part. So I was already having fun, and it wasn't taking me as long. So I thought, yep, keep going, keep working on it. I'm sure it'll come through. And then I did, and I kept going, and suddenly I looked in my viewfinder of the camera above me, and I saw that from a distance it actually looked kind of realish, but also just vibrant and interesting. So I wasn't used to that, especially from just finishing that piece that took me a couple of days beforehand. So yeah, I was getting excited, and it brought a whole bunch of new feelings. And by the time I had finished the artwork, I was super happy. And I am still happy looking at the art piece, which I'm shocked by, because I finally paid attention to not pay attention. That doesn't make sense, but sort of does. So it's kind of like you're paying attention to doing something opposite than you normally would. And because I'm usually focused and precise, I forced myself to not do that. And it turned out being quite a loose painting that felt inspired by Van Gogh. I was trying to keep his style of painting in mind as I was painting this, and just don't get too bogged down with detail. And I'm just so happy and kind of proud of myself for doing this. I feel so much better. So what I hope you take from this video and hearing me babble about this is that a good way to get past those feelings of failure and irritation with your art is to try something completely different than you normally would, and really just appreciate that it's okay that you don't like a piece of your art. I think it's something that it is necessary to have those moments where you hate them, because then you can pinpoint what you want to change in your practice of the art. So I do hope this helps if you are struggling with this at any time, or maybe you've quit art in the past because you feel that it wasn't good or you weren't happy with it, and perhaps trying something different and working a different way might inspire some more love for the practice. So that is my final piece, a refreshing and energizing piece for me personally. And I would love to show my support for Ukraine by dedicating the next month in my bullet journal to their country. I'm so looking forward to learning more and sharing what I discover with you all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate you being here. Hope this reminds you to go easy on yourself and take care. See you soon. Bye.